So I don't want to look. We're not going to please everybody, and some people will probably be offended by this. We're not trying to do that. We'll try to be as fair as possible. But please, if whatever you're thinking, give us your input on that. But what I want to talk about is Me Too, the Me Too movement, and the problem with social media justice. You're always a winner when you get some merchandise from dtmerch.com, which is what our winner will get, including that classic black tee with the white logo, along with this man right here. He has not moved yet. All the various other kind of shirts we have in here. That cup still in there. Baby tees, phone covers. Talking about your support, which you do through your donations, your, more importantly, subscriptions. I'm not talking about social justice warriors. I still hate that term. Not talking about social justice. I'm talking about social media justice, because I think that while these things, these trends, these feelings have been happening before the internet, it's been somewhat. It's bigger now with the internet. Mm-hmm. It's been somewhat more encouraged with the internet.
Yeah, it's faster. It's the flame burns hotter.
Yeah, and what I want to talk about, and the reason why I'm talking about this, is because lately there's been some cases where we're starting to re-examine some of the things that people were actually so gung-ho about at the time. Mm-hmm. And understand, I'm not condemning the Me Too movement. I'm not talking about women being heard. I'm not talking about women who have been victims. I'm not talking about any of that. I still support all of that. I shouldn't even have to say that. Like I say, I'm not a feminist because I don't think I should even have to adopt that label. Women should just be treated like anybody else. As anybody should be treated like anybody else. Why should I have to put a label on it? That's just common sense, right? And I want to be careful too, because someone get mad at us and be talking about Corey raped me, huh? And Martin looked. What I'm talking about with this are cases of social media bandwagoning. Where people jump onto a movement, not to be fair, not to help victims or people who are trying to help that movement, but people do it because it makes them feel good. Or it makes them look good.
They feel like they're on the right side of history.
Exactly. They're on the right side of history, later on down the line. Like people can have bragging rights. Well, I was there too. And it's easy. But also some of it, I'm going to let you talk right now, because I'm just going to say, and some of it comes out of a long feeling of a social vendetta.
Yes. Some people have an axe to grind. They've had an axe to grind for a long time, and then suddenly here's an opportunity.
Yep.
And fair, not fair, it doesn't matter. It's a chance for them to speak to what their hurt is.
Exactly.
And adopt it for that.
And I can't blame some people for feeling that way. I mean, there's a lot of anger for a lot of people that have been violated, and denied rights and mistreated throughout time. I understand that. And of course, there's just some people that you can't deny. I mean, Harvey Weinstein. People knew about Harvey Weinstein for years. I heard about things with Harvey Weinstein. And again, one of the reasons why I don't like Hollywood is because those rumors were going around if you're not in Hollywood, you're not on the inside, and you're still hearing something about Harvey Weinstein, something's wrong. People making jokes about Harvey Weinstein and everything. R. Kelly people knew about. R. Kelly, people knew for years about R. Kelly. I've said this shit about R. Kelly. You had a Boondocks episode about R. Kelly calling him out. So now it's at the point where it's just like, man, this shit is hard to deny. No matter how much you want to be fair, man, what are you going to say? Matt Lauer. This dude, a lot of people don't even bring, because he just disappeared. People can bring him up, forget to bring him up. But, come on, this guy, man. Cosby. I admit, I know, and I never defended Cosby. Don't get it wrong now, because I always just said, listen, this is new. And just because one comedian put it out there, I'm not going to jump on this like everybody else and start accusing the guy. I'm not saying anything, much to the anger of a lot of people. I said, I'm not saying that he's innocent. I'm just saying I don't know.
Sure.
I have to hear more.
Well, then you hear like, oh, yeah, it was the worst kept secret. All these people knew, they had heard rumors. And it's like, Well, damn, why y'all let him go on this
Exactly.
long?
I never heard anything about Cosby.
Yeah,
Harvey
me either.
Weinstein, I had heard jokes about from people, but they were around, man. Not even from people. They were hinted in different places, interviews, jokes, Family Guy. It was some stuff out there that they were dropping crumbs. But Cosby, man, I didn't know shit about Cosby. Even Trump. Look, I despise this dude, man. And yeah, I can see him clearly doing a lot of things that people have accused him of. But do I think he did everything? Thing is, I don't know. I don't know if he actually did everything. He pee on Russians or whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to sit up here and just because I really don't like this guy.
Just because you want to believe it.
Just because I want to believe it.
Doesn't
Yes.
mean you should believe it.
Yeah. Just to show you where I stand on these kind of things,
Right,
man.
you're saying it's about a guy you despise.
Yeah. I just don't want to be, I don't want to be that guy that, just jumping on something because everybody else is doing it or because I just don't like somebody. A lot of these people we mentioned, clearly, you got to go. But then there start to be cases reported where I would look at it and like, that just, I hate to say it, but this doesn't sound right. One of the first ones was Chris Hardwick.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Hardwick, where he was that situation where his ex-girlfriend, Chloe Dykstra, I think that's her right there, claimed that he sexually assaulted her, which led to him being temporarily taken off of the Talking Dead and until an investigation returned that, we didn't find anything. And there was a lot of things contradicting what she said.
Well, I just even remember when that came out. It's a funny thing because the one thing I thought was there's not a lot of corroboration going on.
Yeah.
But what was weird was so much of what she was accusing him of is we have a mutual friend who was being accused of some similar things, and things that I was like, that's kind of bullshit, and I know it. And this sounds almost exactly like that.
Yeah. No, and yeah, exactly. This is one of the places where it started to be said. People were jumping on Chris Hardwick, and I never saw anybody saying, I saw some people, but the dominant opinion was, f this guy. This guy's a creep, and people just start coming out with things like they knew him. I never liked that guy anyway. That guy, he's not even funny now. And now I look at him. Now he's a woman abuser, and people just wanted to say things about this guy. And the whole time, I just didn't feel right. I just said, everybody's passing judgment without hearing this guy's opinion at all.
Yep.
But it got to that point where this is what people said. We believe women first.
Yeah.
It really was a tipping point of guilty until proven innocent. Mm-hmm. This is when it finally got to so mainstream that it went beyond just commenters, and on YouTube or on the internet and then on blogs and whatnot. It got to the point where it hit mainstream enough where articles were written. So-called journalism or journalists out there writing opinion pieces now without any proof. And just being spiteful about it, just being kind of mean. GQ. There was a guy who wrote an article in GQ, Scott Meslow. Why is Chris Hardwick still a thing? And he wrote this without any kind of evidence of Chris Hardwick doing any wrongdoing. Oh, here it is. And now we get to decide how we feel about that. And I just can't play along. Am I really going to watch Chris Hardwick goof around on stage with the Walking Dead cast and try to put those lengthy and painstakingly detailed allegations of emotional and sexual abuse out of my mind? Am I supposed to enjoy watching Chris Hardwick play piano? Pinko play Pinko on NBC, knowing that there's a very real chance that he galvanized all his power in the industry to punish an ex-girlfriend who dared to cross him? It was proven that none of that was true. And if this guy really did feel that way, keep it to yourself until something more concrete comes out.
Or write an equally big article apologizing to Chris Hardwick.
Yeah. Which, you know what? Honestly, I don't know if that ever happened. It could. I don't know. That's a good thing. Man, I doubt it.
I doubt it. I have yet to see one of those articles.
Yeah. This past week, we had Al Franken,
Yeah.
Senator Al Franken. Senator Al Franken, man, it's another one that people were kind of looking at.
I see. At the time when this was happening, I was thinking, y'all are blowing this up out of proportion.
I did too.
She's all mad about what he did in a skit and a joke photo.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't find it funny, but that's why back when he was a comedian and you're trying to dredge all this shit up.
Well, that's the
Well,
thing.
he was already run.
Well, with that, he was out. Well, what happened with this is that, and at the time I saw this, and I tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why in a little bit. I'm gonna tell you why with all these things, because he had to resign from the Senate after allegations of sexual misconduct during a skit where he allegedly forced.
It was a picture and a skit.
It was a picture and a skit. He was doing a skit at doing a USO tour in 2016. I'm sorry, 2006, and woman claimed that he had forcibly kissed her, put his tongue in her mouth, and there was a picture there, and he resigned. And he resigned after his friends turned against him, and he was just kind of wondering. It's like, my friends are turning against me right now, and all of this is happening with nobody even trying to give me an opportunity for a hearing.
After 7 women came forward to accuse him of sexual misconduct. But this photo of Franken on a USO tour in 2006 with a sleeping Leanne Tweeden unleashed a half dozen more accusations.
I'm not even defending his actions, but those were not. People took that to a whole level of like violent sexual assault, where I got into it with somebody before. I said, I'm sorry, I just don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure.
I don't see it on that level.
Yeah, it's not a cool thing to take a photo of somebody when they're sleeping and do something like that. I mean,
right.
Even drawing dicks on somebody's face when they're asleep is not cool.
Violating.
It's violating.
Well, I've done that. I did that to Felix.
Did you really?
yeah.
But it's one of these things where it's like, okay, a public apology, an apology to the person. An apology to the person should be enough. If you feel like you have to do a public apology, okay, fine. But not a step down or lose your job over this from way back.
From way back, yeah.
Especially considering how important his job is or was and what he was doing. And a lot of it came down to, at the time, was, all of them turning on him. It was opportunistic, but it was a big show of, we have to prove we're better than the Republicans. And they wanted to they were trying to get Roy Moore out of office. Mm-hmm. So it was like, hey, we can't focus on him actually, sexually preying on teenagers. If we don't do something about you too.
Yeah. And listen, this is where people can get upset. I'm not defending this right here, but people want to take it to the level that it was a violent sexual assault done at all, on the level of rape. Mm-hmm. And people, I'm sorry if you don't want to hear this, because people are just going to say assault is assault all across the board. No, nah, man, it's not.
No one has been assaulted.
Somebody who's violent, somebody who's violently raped is not on the same level out of somebody who's on a comedy show doing something that was a clear error of judgment, who was not doing this out of some sexual urge or something. They just doing a stupid thing they thought was funny and end up being a mistake.
It's not on the level of violent rape. It's not even on the level of rape of someone who consented to sex and then changed their mind. It's not that.
And you should read the article. I mean, there's a lot of people coming out. There's a New Yorker article about this, and there's another article somewhere that a woman wrote. They talked about how Al Franken, man, how some of the things that he did was just sort of, it was a behavioral thing that he thought was normal just because of what he came from. Mm-hmm. Like when he would kiss women, not violently, he would kiss women, and one of his staff said, don't do that. And he's like, why? And he's like, because these could lead to people misunderstanding what you're doing, or you think it's like friendly. You've crossed some boundaries that people would think is improper. Mm-hmm. And he said, "Oh, well, okay, I'm sorry, I won't do that again." And it is stated that he really just didn't get it.
Well, and to that point, he probably found plenty of people, women who also didn't think anything of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's hard to know with each person you meet how they're going to take what you do. And so does that mean, okay, so because somebody might be completely wigged out by it, then I have to change my behavior and treat all of you like this person here.
Yeah. You know,
It's. I mean, maybe, but I'm just saying it's hard to know. Human beings are they're a mess. When it comes to communication, especially between men and women, there's a lot of miscommunication that happens all the time.
Yeah.
And everybody involved, things would run so much smoother if you gave leeway to the fact that, like, hey, maybe there's some misunderstanding here.
we get just the basic story on the internet, and everybody wants to jump on because really, let's face it, man, it's really not about justice or fairness or, trying to defend somebody. It's about making us feel good. Making us feel like we've done something. And like I said, it's just so easy to do it. This guy, the latest one, this happened last week, a YouTuber, a guy named Andy Signore. He's done famous channels like Honest Trailers. He was fired from the company that does. Yeah, he was fired from the company that I forgot the company, the name of the company that puts those channels out there. But he was fired from that after.
It's called Real something, right?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Fuck, it's gonna bother me.
But
now. Go ahead.
But
Screen Gems.
Screen Junkies.
Screen
Junkies. That's it. Yeah,
Screen
Screen Junkies.
Junkies.
Yeah, he was fired by Screen Junkies because he had an affair. Now this guy's not. He's not completely innocent either. He had an affair. He was married, had an affair with this girl, but it was mutual. But at the time, it was reported that she said this guy came over to my hotel uninvited, forced himself on me, forced sex toys in me. He did all these things, and if anybody else has anything to say about this guy, please come out. And a lot of people did, and it was and he was able to pull up all of their text, the pictures that she sent him, the flirting, which also led to exposing some other people, as these people were not jumping into because of our invitation to talk about how this guy violated them. It was more like, he flirted with me and did some things that weren't proper, but that's still creepy. And I'm here to support you, girl. And the guy, he after everything was kind of cleared, he had a lawsuit and everything with the Screen Junkies, I believe. Once he felt like it was fine to come out, he came out and just kind of exposed everything that was a lie about this accusation.
I invited her to my hotel room to watch a movie, which she was completely up for. There was no tricking her into a party. She knew we were discreetly chatting. April says I took photos of her without her permission. This is false.
I mean, now unless something else happens, where I will always say if I'm not there, I don't know. So there could be another turn to this. Who knows? Who knows? But I mean, I've sat there and I read some of these things. And I was like, wow, that's a lot of evidence right there.
Yeah, I saw some Netflix and chill in there somewhere.
I don't know what's going to come out of that. I mean, it could be something else where she comes out with more proof that something else happened with them. I don't know. But what I do know there is that he's presenting proof. He's coming out. He's giving his word, which nobody asked for before. Yeah. What they immediately did with the what's his name? Chris
Hardwick.
What's that?
Hardwick.
Chris Hardwick. Yes, thank you. They did with Chris Hardwick, Al Franken, in with Andy Signore. What they did was they immediately started comparing these people to Harvey Weinstein. Mm-hmm. They want to make you look as bad as you can. They compare you to the worst, with no real concrete proof or evidence, man. Yeah. Some of these women, I see what they're talking about. Where this has been a long time coming, man. Mm-hmm. But really. Society and the way men have treated women in the past, we just kind of reaping what we sow. And I can tell you, I bet you the dudes will think twice about doing some shit. So it's not, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying this needed to happen. But now we need to pull back and start using some rationality with this. What has been somewhat of a, people do this. They take slogans, man, and they push them to where they don't even mean what the slogans are supposed to be anymore. They push them to an extreme. Like this, we believe women. That's pushed. That used to mean, let's blow women off when they say something. Let's not brush them aside just because it's easier to do that because women don't have power. Let's not do that. Let's listen to women more. Now it's turned into like, if the woman said it, you're
That's just getting the squad car already.
That's kind of what it's been pushed to. I look at this thing with we talked about this not too long ago, and I'm still concerned about people just jumping on this and reading into this to where now you're supposed to feel guilty about everything. Here's the other thing, people again blowing things out of proportion because of this movement. Keanu Reeves' latest show of greatness, not touching women in photos.
Right.
And it's funny because one of the things that have been asked is like, oh, he doesn't touch women in photos. Well, nobody talked about the women that are grabbing him and touching him when they come in to take pictures.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be like, yeah, now now you're not even supposed to like touch women, respect the space, but they can rush up on you if they want to. I'm not making this like, oh man, it's so unfair to be a man. Not at all. I'm just saying, listen, if we don't have some rationality and common sense and fairness with this, the real victims are going to be the ones who are going to continue to be the real victims.
Yeah, because we don't want to get to where it all seems like everybody's crying wolf.
We believe women, yes, we do. But not to destroy somebody else who doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Like I said, let's start being rational about this, man.
Yeah, everybody could get rational, be willing to allow for other people to not be, looking at the world the same way you do.
Yeah.
And have forgiveness in your heart.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's one thing we need to do. Just talk this shit out sometimes. I mean, if somebody's actually violated, I get it. But some things can be talked about.
So much can be talked about. So much can be a genuine, honest, sincere apology, and that should be the end of it.
And listen, I don't know if Malcolm, you're saying that we are bad for saying. He says less than 2% of rape cases lead to convictions. Most go unreported. I hope you. That
has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Not even close.
Not at all.
Close.
No, we're not talking about. We're not talking about women should. We're doing the opposite.
Yeah.
We're saying that women should be listened to. These things should be reported more. But unless we start using some rational thinking behind it,
common sense,
then those
and the people
who
that are
report
getting
it
violated won't get the justice that you said that.
It's going to continue to hurt them.
Yeah, we said that several times.
Great segment. I just got home from work, loving this late night show. If you guys mentioned Morgan Freeman, my bad. But you remember the pregnant interviewer who tried to Me Too Morgan Freeman and shut him down.
Shut down.
She was shut down by another woman.
Damn, I not heard.
Did you not see this? Morgan Freeman, that's another case, man. Thank you, Mark Murray. I gotta show you this before you go. Morgan Freeman said something at a press conference. And he said something to a reporter, and she tried to twist that around and sexualize it. And I mean, she almost broke her back.
The press tour.
Were seated on either side of him and actually looked at him when he made this comment to me. Again, it was caught on tape. And
okay, I'm gonna start just in case I missed something, but you can already tell.
To me,
Martin, listen to this comment. You know how she's choking up, and he made this comment to me. Now, listen to what this comment is.
Lord, do I wish I was there.
This movie is, as you see, that was quick there. But
pause. I wish I was there to see you fucking up, Michael Caine.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
My friend.
Yes, exactly.
Like he's like, wow, can't believe you fucking did that. That's amateur hour.
Yeah.
She tried to twist that around, and I'm gonna tell you something. No, I was about to say you ain't heard from this bitch again about this anymore. That's a shitty thing to do. That is
so talking about that.
That is a shitty thing to do. I don't care what Morgan Freeman has said or done. Morgan Freeman has probably said some surly things to people, but he ain't never sexually assaulted anybody that I know of.
At least we haven't heard of it so far. But to stretch it for that.
But this is, until Morgan Freeman, we hear about him doing some real shit. This was disrespectful to him. And I'm not even upset about Morgan Freeman because Morgan Freeman gonna be fine.
Yeah.
This bitch is hurting other women who are trying to a legitimate case, who are trying to tell people about some real shit, and this fucking bitch trying to be a victim. She's trying to be a victim for attention. That is a shitty thing to do.
Look at his eyes. That's what tells you that he's not
Yeah.
That he's talking about Michael
Yeah, he's
Caine.
like, he was looking right at me. He was looking through you.
Yeah, he wasn't talking. He
Lord,
was
I wish
trying
I
not to
was
fall
there.
asleep.
Yeah, let me see here.
I want to see the woman that shut him down.
Yeah, that's what I want to
That's
see.
what I want to see.
That doesn't even make any. That doesn't even make any
No,
sense.
it
His
doesn't.
eyes go big.
Yeah,
As
he's
soon as
like,
Michael Caine
"I
says,
wish
"Here's
I
what
was
I
there."
did," he was like, "Look, this stupid mother did that shit." He was like, "Man, I wish I was there so I could f- with
I
you."
known this guy for 40 years. I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah, that's exactly
Man,
what he's
there
saying.
was not. I don't even know how to even how to even relate that to her. That man had that comment had nothing
what is
to
she
do with
saying
her.
that he's saying? Does it go on? Does she say that like what he's trying to say? I wish I was there. What, inside your vagina? What is she talking about?
Yeah, I don't know.
To get her pregnant? To watch her get pregnant? No.
Well, maybe he says that like we cut the clip off. Maybe that's what he says right after.
Yeah, right,
I
yeah.
wish I was there, so I could be that baby.
Yeah. I wish I was
doubt
there so I could tap that ass.
No,
I mean, maybe we missing something.
I wish I was there. Me and Andy Dufresne.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Hit that subscribe button. Get our notifications so you never have to be without us. You can always be with us if you go to our main site, doubletoasted.com. Why? Because over there, you can watch the full video, this video right here, uncensored, unedited. And you can also watch our live streams that happen almost every night. While I'm recording this, it is 1 o'clock at night, so I'm here for you. Also, check out our store. Support us over there, dtmerch.com. And remember, if nothing else, stay toasted.